In this video, we're breaking down the San Francisco 49ers. This is an offense that has dominated the NFL over the past half decade. Known as one of the most dynamic and versatile offenses in the league, the Niners attack is led by Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk, and they consistently overwhelm defenses with creativity and precision, and the whole offense is designed by their all-world coach in Kyle Shanahan. Now, by the end of this, you're going to have the formations, the setups, and strategies to recreate this offense and dominate your opponents in Madden 25. Now, over the course of this modern wide zone offense, we're going to dive into these three offenses, with each receiving its own in-depth breakdown video. All of these schemes will be used out of the Miami Dolphins playbook, so even though they are distinct offenses, they're all meant to be combined into one giant unstoppable scheme. So now the 49ers offense is a masterclass in blending old school principles with cutting edge innovation. Kyle Shanahan has built a system that thrives on versatility, precision, and the ability to stress defenses at every level of the field. Now, what makes them special? First up, a masterful run game blend. The 49ers ground game is the engine of their offense, seamlessly combining power runs with zone blocking schemes. This mix allows them to dominate physically while creating cutback lanes for patient, explosive running backs like McCaffrey. Shanahan's run design uses motion and misdirections to keep defenses guessing. Then we have play action brilliance. The 49ers run game isn't just a weapon on its own, it's the setup for one of the most devastating play action attacks in the league. They leverage the linebackers' commitment to stopping the run to create open windows for deep shots to attack the middle of the field. Then we have dynamic pre-snap motion. Motion isn't just a tool for eye candy, it's the cornerstone of this offense. Cheap motions and jet sweeps are used to manipulate defensive alignments, isolate mismatches, and create hesitation at the second level, allowing the offense to attack from multiple angles. Then versatile personnel. The 49ers are built around players who can do it all. George Kittle can block like a lineman and run routes like a receiver. McCaffrey is equally as dangerous as a runner and a receiver out of the backfield. Then they have Deebo and Ayuk, who are some of the most dynamic weapons in the NFL with the ball in their hands. Now, the first formation we are breaking down is split close pro. This is a shotgun split back, so two running back set, where we are condensed with our wide receivers split in close. This is an amazing formation that gives us a ton of different ways to attack defenses with two running backs in the backfield, so we can hand it off to either one. Then this formation has an amazing cheat motion that goes all across the field, and we can use it in the vertical pass game. Then we also have RPOs built around this motion. Now, the first play we're looking at here is RPO peak wrap go. This is an amazing RPO that gives us three really good options on this play to attack a ton of different defensive looks. So we always want to come out with our swing going to the wide side of the field, and he will auto motion across the field. Now, if the defense all stays inside, then we can just flip it out to this bubble player, and you can pick up some big yards on the edge of the defense. Now, if the edge is taken away, you want to look to the seam, and if the linebacker on that side jumps down on the run, then you can just throw this seam ball up behind them for a big pickup. Then the last part of this play is if the defense widens out on the swing and the linebackers stay back on the seam ball, then that should open up the handoff up the middle. Next up, we have the play PA cheat wheel post. This play is built around the cheat motion across the field, and we can use it to get this player wide open for huge gains against zone defenses. To set this up, come out with your cheat motion starting at the wide side of the field, and he's going to go across the field to the short side. Then you don't want to take the outside receiver on the short side and put him on a streak. Then take the tight end and you want to put him on a post route. Now, first you want to look to the motion player, and he's going to wheel up the field and get in behind the flat defender, and the deep defender will get run off. Now you can drop this into the hole for a huge pickup. This can also work against man coverage. When this guy comes across, he will shoot upfield, and if his man player is in trail position, then we can just bomb them up over the top for a big play against man. Next, we have the post attacking the middle of the field, and if the user leaves the middle to take the wheel or stays shallow, then you can throw the post as he breaks inside. Then for a check down on this play, we have the running back in the flat. You can just throw it to him if everything is covered down the field. The next formations we are looking at are I form close and Y off close. These two I form formations give us a fullback and tight end on the field and have our wide receivers on tighter splits. Now, the Niners love to use I form looks to get Kittle and use check on the field, and in these formations, the run game will be front and center. We're going to have a ton of different run looks we can throw at defenses, and then off of that, we have a wide variety of play action plays we can work off the run. Now, the first first run we're breaking down is Power O. This is a classic 49ers run where we're going to get a pulling guard and a fullback as our lead blockers, and these can clear out defenders and spring you for some really big gains. This is all about adding a power element to your offense. You want to use patience and follow your lead blockers, and once you get into the second level with your running back, it's all about making plays with the ball in your hands. Now, the play action play we're going to look at in this formation is PA pylon sail and Y off close. This is an incredible deep shot which gives us a ton of vertical options that can work really good against zone and match coverage. Now, to set this play up, come out with your tight end to the wide side of the field, and that is it. Now, this is going to be a classic play action concept where we can high-low the flat defender on the wide side of the field, and if he stays shallow, then you want to throw that deep corner route in along the sideline. Then if the deep corner route is taken away by that flat defender dropping out underneath it, then we can just check it down to the fullback in the flat. Then if the play action fake pulls the user and linebackers down, or they leave the middle of the field to take the corner route, then you can look to the deep dig over the middle of the field from our solo receiver. Then if they are ever running match coverage, then you can alert to the super deep corner route on the wide side, and this can be a one-play bomb versus match coverages. The next formation we're looking at is pistol wing flex close. This is a pistol formation with two tight ends on one side of the ball and then two wide receivers split in tight on the other. This pistol formation gives us a ton of variation. We have plays built around this wide receiver jet motion that can help us get some big explosive runs on the ground. Then this formation is really good to take deep shots down the field, and we can use it to hit a ton of vertical plays against man and zone coverages. Now, the play we're looking at here is motion fork H choice. This is a great man beating play that gives us 5 options that all beat man coverage and attack different areas of the field, but it also gives us an option to block one of our tight ends, and this will help us block up blitzes while still having 4 really good man beating routes out on the field. To set this up, come out with your tight ends to the wide side of the field. Then I like to take the receiver on the short side and put them on the hot routed post route. Then if you think they might be blitzing, then you want to block the outside tight end who's on the quick out route, or if you think they're playing coverage, then you can just leave him on this route. Now, first we have our C route from our wide receiver and our tight end on the corner route, and we can go to either one of these routes as they'll both attack the sideline and they can keep the ball away from the user, and both these routes are excellent. Then we also have this post route that can work if they have no deep safety over the top, then we can just try to bomb them deep, or if the man coverage is in trail position and they do have safeties, we can actually fire this in front of the safeties and attack kind of the intermediate middle area of the field. Next, we have our running back out of the backfield on our option route, and he can either break inside or out, and this is a great option if the user leaves the middle of the field. Then if you want to take your Madden game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, we have part 2 of this 49ers offense where I break down a ton more plays that you can combine with some really dominant runs and ways to throw the ball to attack both man and zone coverages. Then there's already a part 2 for my Lions wide zone and my Dolphins scheme on the site, so you can make this whole modern wide zone offense even better. Then I also have a ton of offensive stuff on the site, like my new dual threat QB offense, where I'm breaking down 6 of the greatest running quarterbacks of all time and how you can use them to their full potential in both Madden and College Football 25. Then I also have my spread to run offense, where I broke down 3 of the best college football offenses ever. Then I have full defenses on the site, like my Nick Saban defensive scheme and my Bill Belichick defensive scheme, and they are for Madden and college football as well. So by subscribing to the site, you'll get access to all of my Madden 25 content and College Football 25 content for one price. And then on the site, you can also purchase the yearly membership, which will save you $50 over the course of the year. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I'll leave a link for it down below. Now, in this section, we're going to break down what we can learn from the real-life implementation of this 49ers offensive scheme and how to apply those strategies to our offense in Madden 25. So first, we want to use the run game to set up the pass. The Niners have a huge variation in the amount of runs they throw at their opponent, and then off of that, they have a ton of creative play action shots so they can attack down the field. So the run we're looking at here is HB zone toss and Y off close, and this is a great run to attack the perimeter of the defense and get your running back in space to make some big plays, and this is a super common run that the Niners would use with McCaffrey to get him out on the edge where he is incredibly dangerous. Now, this run we're going to have zone blocking up front, so our O-line is going to work a ton of double teams on the defensive line before working up to the second level to pick off linebackers. Then we have our fullback as the lead blocker out in front, and you want to follow him, and once he picks up his block, then fire out from behind him and get into the open field. field. We're also going to have our tight end and wide receiver on this side as lead blockers who do a great job of securing the edge and letting us get to the outside where we can make plays. Next up, we have PA Boot LT. This is a great play action play that we can use off of our run game and is built around pulling the linebacker and user down so we can hit vertical shots in behind them. To set this play up, come out with your tight end to the wide side of the field, then take your solo receiver and put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. Now, this play starts with a hard play action fake, and we want this to pull down the linebackers and user. Then we're going to boot out the other way. Then on this play, we're going to have a deep post coming from the wide side to the side we are booting to, and then we're going to have the streak on this side pulling back the deep blue defenders, and now this post is going to get to a great area of the field, and we can fire this in for huge pickups. Then as we boot out, if we see the post is taken away, then we also have our tight end coming across the field, attacking more of the intermediate areas, and if the flat defender stays shallow, then we can throw it into the tight end. Then as we boot out, if the deep post is taken away and the flat is staying back under the tight end, then we just want to drop it into the fullback in the flat and just let him pick up the easy yards that are there. Then this offense is all about scheming the ball into our playmakers' hands. The Niners have an incredible amount of dynamic weapons, and Shanahan is the master of getting these guys the ball in the open field, and we want to do the same. Now, the Niners love to use jet motion plays to get the ball to their dynamic playmakers like Debo and Ayuk, and these plays do a great job of attacking the perimeter and can put a ton of stress on the defense. Now, we're going to be using the play jet pass fake zone and wing flex close, and this is an excellent version of this play where we can get super dynamic with one of our wide receivers on the edge. Then off of this, we can use zone fake jet, and now this play will start with that same jet motion across the field, and this can pull the user and the flow of the defense to the jet motion, but then we're going to have a handoff to the opposite direction, and now you can get some really easy yards on the ground. So you want to run this after you set it up with the jet motion a few times to really use both of these plays to their full potential. Then the other play we're looking at here is motion slot comeback in wing flex close, and this is probably my favorite vertical pass concept in this whole Niners offense, and it is incredible at attacking deep down the field. To set this play up, come out with your tight ends to the wide side of the field, then take your inside receiver and put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. Now, versus cover 2, we're going to have a whole shot down the field where the deep blue defender will get held in by the streak, and this slot fade will get wide open up the sideline for a huge gain. Versus cover 3, it's going to work very similar, but this deep blue defender will get held back, but now we want to back shoulder this slot fade as he gets in behind the flat defender and kind of throw it in along the sideline. Then if the user leaves the middle and the slot fade is taken away, then we want to look to the tight end dig route over the middle of the field. Then if they call man coverage, or if they're bringing a blitz, we can look to the tight end on the whip route as he breaks out to the sideline on the wide side of the field.
Now, with just what you have here for this 49ers offense, you are going to be in a great spot, but remember there's part 2 for this Niners scheme up on Scheme Kings right now that is going to make this whole offense way more difficult to stop. Then if you want a full breakdown of the idea behind this modern wide zone offense and a deep dive into the personnel we're going to be using for this scheme, then you need to check out the intro video for the offense right here.